So, if it's cold, rainy, and foggy in Savannah, what do? Well, more specifically, if it's cold, rainy, and foggy in Savannah, and you're on a ship, what do? I'm about to show you. Well, the first thing you do is you ditch the bike loaded with cameras, mics, and drones. You got to keep that stuff out of the rain and weather. Grab one camera and a drone and head off to Tybee Island, which is where this week's story is. Ordered by General James Oglethorpe, governor of the 13th colony in 1732, the Tybee Island Light Station has been guiding mariners' safe entrance into the Savannah River for over 285 years. The Tybee Island Light Station is one of America's most intact light stations, having all of its historic support buildings on its 3-acre site. Rebuilt several times, the current lighthouse displays its 1916 day mark, as it's called, with 178 steps and a first-order Fresnel Lens. Under the direction of Noble Jones of Wormsloe Plantation, work began on the first day mark. That's a lighthouse without a light, built on Tybee. It was constructed in 1736. It was octagonal in shape and was constructed of brickwork and cedar piles. Standing 90 feet tall, it was the tallest structure of its kind in America at the time. Unfortunately, storms took their toll on Tybee's first day mark. 5 years after its completion, a new day mark was commissioned. While work was progressing on the new day mark, a storm swept the old day mark away in August of 1741. In 1742, the second day mark built on Tybee was completed. It was described by Oglethorpe as much the best building of that kind in America. It was different from its predecessor, standing 94 feet tall, with a flagstaff which ran from the nave to the top of the beacon. By 1748, the sea was within 30 feet of the day mark. Piles were driven into the sand to support the foundations. Unfortunately, that is when the sea started to encroach, reaching the very door of the day mark. A new day mark was needed, and time was running out. In 1768, with the sea lapping at the foundation of the day mark, the Georgia Assembly finally authorized a new day mark/lighthouse to be built. This time, a site well removed from the sea was chosen, and the building was completed in early 1773. The day mark/lighthouse was ceded to the federal government from the colony of Georgia in 1790. The United States Lighthouse Establishment then took over the operation of the day mark, turning it into a lighthouse, and in 1791, the 100-foot tall brick and wood structure was lit with spermaceti candles for the very first time. A second tower was added to the site in 1822 to form what they call a range. Both towers received Fresnel Lenses in 1857, with the lower front tower being equipped with a fourth-order lens, while the main tower received a larger second-order lens. Confederate forces burned the light in 1862 during the Civil War, destroying the top 40 feet, and removed the lenses as they retreated to Fort Pulaski. Reconstruction of the light was begun in 1866 but was delayed by a cholera outbreak. A new tower was constructed atop the first 60 feet of the old tower, raising the height of the whole to 154 feet. This tower was equipped with a first-order lens. The front beacon was now a 50-foot wooden skeleton tower equipped with a new fourth-order lens. The lighthouse was now to be a first-order station, consisting of masonry and metal only. It was completely fireproof. This is the lighthouse that stands today. The main tower was severely damaged in a hurricane in 1871 and developed such serious cracking that a $50,000 appropriation was requested for its replacement. Instead, a new front tower, which had already been moved twice, was constructed of iron. New keepers' dwellings were constructed in 1881 and 1885. The following year, the tower was shaken by the 1886 Charleston earthquake, which damaged the lenses and caused further cracking of the brickwork. These were both, however, immediately repaired. In 1933, the tower was electrified and the station reduced to a single keeper. The beacon was automated in 1972. Throughout its life, the daymark of the tower was modified on numerous occasions. Originally all white, the base and lantern were painted black in 1887. This was altered in 1914 and again in 1916, each time bringing the black at the top further down the tower. In 1967, the entire tower was repainted with a white base and a gray top. The gray faded severely and was painted black in 1970. In 1999, a major restoration project was begun under the auspice of the Tybee Island Historical Society, who took possession of the light station in 2002 under the National Historic Lighthouse Preservation Act. As part of this project, the tower was repainted in the 1916 through 1966 black and white daymark. The beacon is still a functioning navigational aid, still using its original lenses. The site is open to the public and retains its keepers' houses and auxiliary buildings, as well as the lighthouse tower. Both the lighthouse and Fort Screven are across the street from each other on the northernmost part of the island along the North Beach shore. If you're ever in Savannah, these are must-see locations. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please hit the subscribe button. It's right over here. And don't forget to hit that bell so that you'll be notified whenever we do an upload. And we do one each and every Sunday. Please, don't forget, every trip starts with a step. And that step, well, it starts with you.